Revelation Room for Revelation Advance this afternoon. Worship and heart students, you are in here for this session. So,
vocal two,
Revelation students, you are in the Revelation Room. We have guitars, we have mics. We know that something musical is going to be happening this afternoon. Get ready. Check, check, check.
Jonathan, spare two needs phantom pair.
Test. Okay. The world of writing music, writing songs, it's an elusive world. We're going to talk about songwriting, but when we're talking about songwriting, it's... I don't even know what I was thinking. What was I just thinking? No. In this world of music, we have to deal, when I was going to say, there's a very practical world that's behind everything that's done. And so the practicality is kind of bleeding into our moments together, but it's always good to know. One of the great statements that I heard made by an elite athlete was someone was saying to him, this guy played pro football. He is in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. And he's a dear friend, a guy named Paul Kaufman, wonderful tight end for Green Bay. Just a top-notch athlete who said it's really funny, but the athlete that trains the greatest, the athletes that train the most, not the most gifted, but the athletes that train the hardest and work the hardest seem to be the luckiest on the field. It's really, and that was his big thing. You know what? The guys that train the hardest seem to be the luckiest out there on the field. And the same is true in this world. One of my favorite guitar players, there's a gal who was on American Idol years ago. Her name was Mandisa. I don't know if does anybody remember Mandisa from American Idol? Mandisa lives in Nashville. Mandisa is a great, great gal. But her guitar player was in Kansas City for years, and I saw potential with him. I watched him walk around with an unplugged electric guitar, and all day he would just do this. Now, before he did that, I heard him play. He was atrocious. So he decided that he was going to learn how to play, and so I picked him because I saw something, and I said, I want you to play guitar for me. He goes, no, really? He goes, yeah, but here's the deal, and I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you right up front. You're not going to be in the house. So I put him and gave him a tiny little, it was on this little stand, a tiny little speaker, a feedback monitor for him so he could hear himself play. And nobody else in the room of 2,000 would hear him play because he wasn't good enough yet. But I watched him, so I wanted him on my team because I watched him practice. And he kept getting better, and he kept getting better, and then he went to schools, and then he kept getting better. And now he's Mandisa's guitar player, and when he's not playing for her, he's a session player in studio work in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you know how good you have to get to be a studio session player in Nashville, Tennessee? And so, again, it just seems that the luckiest ones are the ones that put in all that time. And so when we come to songwriting, what we're really coming to is a couple different worlds. We're coming to a world of musicality, and we're also coming into a world of creativity. And sometimes, musicality can be the tedious system of putting notes together. And creativity, I don't know how you pull that. I don't think there's a person. If I were to ask this question, who feels that they are not a creative person? Well, you know what? Let's just. Are you honest with yourself? Are you honest? Are you going to be honest with me right now? Okay. Who feels that they are not a creative person? Raise your hand. Okay, there's somebody in the back. Okay. Now, do me a favor. Stand up if you just raised your hand. Okay? Now, the rest of you, look around because there's people behind you. Are these non-creative people? Are they wrong? Okay, thank you very much. I love you all, but you're absolutely wrong. You can sit down. Okay, you can sit. Number one, who will not do something creative? In creativity, there's intentionality in writing a song. Okay? Let me ask you a question. If the enemy has already told you that you're not creative, you will then never venture towards anything creative. So there's a whole world that's waiting for you to step into. But if you believe the lie that you're not creative, now how many of you have a sibling that you think is more creative than you are? Okay. I was the youngest of three. My oldest sister, she was class clown. She got all these awards for public speaking. My older brother, a year older than I was, literally has a genius IQ. And then I would follow him in school every year. Your last name is Dupre? Is Mark your brother? Yes, he is. Oh, it's so good to meet you. And finally, after about 5 or 6 years of that, I just went, hi, I'm Chris Dupre. My older brother's Mark. I'm nothing like my brother. I'll be a complete disappointment to you if you compare us, but you'll probably get to like me. That's what I said. So I literally stayed away from academia because my brother's IQ started with a 1.4 something. And mine didn't. Yet I was told my IQ when I was younger because I had an older foster brother who was a psychologist who did IQ testing. Well, when my brothers came back with a 1.4 something, it didn't matter what mine came back with. I was not smart. So therefore, I didn't move in that direction. I moved over here. Well, a couple years ago, someone was getting a degree with something, and they said, hey, I got to do some IQ tests. Can I do it? I went, oh, gosh, yeah, boy, I haven't seen that thing in a long time. So I had 2 IQ tests a month apart. Now, because I said he's the smart one, and my sister was the creative one, I made myself the athletic one and poured myself into athletics. Had 2 full-ride scholarships to Villanova or William & Mary in track and field. And at the end of the year, I was seeded first in New York State to go to the Nationals in 2 events. On my second practice jump for the triple jump, I landed at the end of the pit where no one would land because they didn't think anyone would land back there. So they didn't rake it out. And therefore, my left ankle landed on a rock that was this far underneath the sand. My left ankle exploded, and I lost my scholarship to Villanova and to William & Mary. Because I relied on my athletics, because I wasn't the smart one, my brother was. Well, a couple years ago, I had this person that did this IQ test. Did it twice with a month apart. Different tests. You know what my average came to? I didn't care years ago. I was not the smart one. My brother was. The average came to 137. But because in my brain, he was the smart one that had 140. Mine wasn't. Everybody said, oh, 140, you over 140, you're this. So I just assumed, no one told me, I was a 6th grader. Under 140, I'm an idiot. Therefore, why should I bother with school? I'll pour myself into what I'm good at with athletics. Come to find out, I actually was a smart kid. I didn't put anything into my academics, and I lost a whole world that I could have had. I just want to tell you, you are made in God's image. Do not let the enemy lie to you. Oh, and I don't hear music. Well, let me ask you a question. Some older people might know this name. How many of you have ever heard of Bernie Taupin? As I said, some older people might know that name. The front row raises its hand. Okay, from the second row on, how many of you know Bernie Taupin? Okay. How many have ever heard of an English bloke called Elton John? You have? Guess what? Bernie Taupin wrote all his words. So when the royalty payments are made out, Elton gets his 50%, and unknown Bernie Taupin gets his 50%. Yeah. Who knows how creativity is going to work? Who knows what it's going to look like? So when we're talking about songwriting, what we're talking about is, again, not comparing and not trying to become someone else. It's, God, how did you make me? Who am I inside? What kinds of things do I move towards, and what matters in my life? And what I want to do, and we've got Jonathan Clarke, who everyone knows and loves, and Ben Jackson, who everyone knows. And loves. And I'm going to add a friend of mine, Rex Allchurch. Rex, you can sit back there if you want, or I would prefer if you just come on up here. That way the camera can get you, and any friends that are watching live in England can see you live at this moment, walking up here live at this moment. Rex Allchurch is just a wonderful friend, worship leader, pastor, yeah. Rex has been asked and signed by the same, he's friends with Matt Redman, that whole crew over there, and the same guys that asked and signed him. And he's actually kind of walked away from some things so that he's not pulled into a system, but he has the liberty of just ministering to the Holy Spirit wherever he wants to go. And so Rex is a very talented, lovely guy who writes beautiful music. And so what I want to do in the time that we have together is, because songwriting is not, here's what you do. Here's 7 points to write a song. Well, and then the next guy will say, really? Is that what you do? I don't do that. This is what I do. And they'll tell you how they write their song. So because we're all made differently, I just wanted some different voices and different thoughts and aspects into songwriting. I'm just going to give you a shot up front of some things that I would do in writing a song, and then we're going to kind of go with popcorn, who's ever got the next kind of a thing. And I want to make sure that you guys, I was told that you ask questions, but I'm not like gravely disappointed, but you're not asking a lot of questions. So feel free to lift your hand, especially during this part. Ask your questions. I'm working on this, and how long should I let a song sit and percolate, and a day or 10 years? So there's your answer. So you don't have to ask that one anymore. All right. So we're going to go back and forth, and these are all, isn't that nice? It's my radio voice again. Oh, number 11 on the top 10 this week is... Okay. Is this Ben's? Okay. It's the expensive one? Oops. Can I give this to you? I'll give this to Rex. Say hi, Rex.
Hi.
Can I move this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like one of those. Yeah.
Gonna look less cool.
Trying to find the ticket for that one. But still. I feel like he's my mother getting me ready to go out. All right, honey. You look good. She'll like it. Did you get the corsage? Yes. Okay, thank you. So I'm sitting back at my house. Let's just do the one song that you know. I'm sitting back at my house, and I'm going, we will dance on the streets that are golden. Okay, right? What's different between that song and Light of the World, slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's at what time for those that know music? Okay, and now what's this? We'll dance on the streets, gotta go. Just practical. What can you figure? 6/8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1. That's a waltz. 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm singing this. We will dance on the streets, gotta go. Now, as I'm playing that, I'm seeing people go. You know, it kind of puts this kind of a sweet little feel. Different sounds give different feelings, give different expressions. And so I'm literally singing a song about dancing, watching my daughter dance, and the Lord's telling me that this is how I feel about you. And so I'm going, this is the thought process that went through my mind, whatever it was, 1997 or whenever I was doing it. And I'm going, want to watch my daughter dance. I'm in this kind of sweet little waltz kind of a thing. And the Lord just says, I just like dancing with you. Would you dance with me? Dance with me. And then I went to this chord, which I'd never played in my life. And I went, I like that. What I was trying to do was I was going to go play an E minor. Now that's a D, and suddenly I took my index finger off and put it over on the 5th string 2nd fret. And I had that chord, which is like an E minor. There's an E minor. But I like that little dissonant sound. I like that. So I went, I'm going to keep that. And so suddenly the song was Dance with Me. Melody. I just went back and forth. I'm thinking, I'm just going back and forth between those chords, going, who am I going to dance with? And I thought, dance with me, O daughter that I love. And so I sang that. Dance with me, daughter that I love. Because that would be the father telling the daughter, let's dance together. And I thought, well, a church isn't going to sing that. Right? So what are they going to sing? And so you have to actually, you've got emotion going on. At the same time, you have practical knowledge of what will work for. You can either write a song for yourself that will just, you alone will sing it. At that particular time, I just wanted to convey to others the same kind of heart that I felt that the Lord was sharing at that time. So therefore, I have to change, I have to remove it from being personal and change it to being corporate. Make sense? So suddenly it's Dance with me, oh. By the way, it's not the way that you heard it. The way that you heard it was operatic. Dance with me, oh. No, it's dance with me, oh lover. So the O is, and there's a reason. As a songwriter, I didn't put dance with me, oh. Because O would just be a word to fill, but it wasn't. The O was attached to something you love. Hey, we're going to have ice cream for dessert. Oh. Hey, your favorite person just walked in the door. Oh. That's what it was. It was dance with me, oh. The O is attached to lover. And so there's a break on it. I was very intentional in writing it to have O attached to the lover. Oh, lover of my soul. To the song of all songs. And so dance with me. I didn't want to repeat. What rhymes with dance? Romance. And that's the one that got me all the emails. God doesn't romance us. I was like, wow, are you sure? Just read Isaiah 62. Give that a shot. Go to Hosea sometime and read that story. Just, it's there. So anyway, I just want to give you a little insight into at least one song of how the process goes. So you're sitting there and you're going, okay, what kinds of things? I want to write songs. What should I do? I'm looking around. I see a bunch of notebooks open. What should I do? How should I write a song? Number one, write what you like. In other words, I am not going to go out and copy a Vanilla Ice song from 1993. Thank God. Okay? I didn't listen to him then, and I don't listen to him now. Okay? I didn't, there's certain kind of music I don't listen to. And so, what kind of music do I like? What kind of music, affects my soul? So you write what you like. So, well, I don't want to write, I don't just want to copy someone. Well, sometimes, as they say, the sincerest form of flattery, and that's, in a sense, there is nothing new under the sun. So there's no chord progression. There's no chord that you're going to create that's new, that's never been done. Oh, yeah? Well, have they ever done this one? I've never heard that one before. No, great. Then you be the first one that does that one. But the fact of the matter is, if there's no chord that's new, and there's probably no progression that's new, then find what you like and flow in it for a while. And number two is own where you're going to go. Yes, there are some flukes that just happen out of the middle of somewhere. But if you don't play certain chords, then learn to play them well so that you own them, and then you can go there. I remember years ago, I tried. Remember, how many play guitar a little bit? How many love the F? Remember when you learned how to play the F and someone said, oh yeah, you just do the E, except you don't use these fingers. You take your index finger off, move it up one fret, and then you take the index finger and you do a bar chord. What's a bar chord? Oh, you cover the entire length of the guitar with that finger, and you press them all down. There's your F. And I did it, and I said, I hate you. I hate you. What is that? How do I... Bar. By the time I'm done, I was like, I feel like a leper. Okay. Just put this... Here, just a second. There we go. There's the F. And then and I'm playing this, and she goes, oh, you know what's really fun is when you do this little, it's like F2, F9. You just have it up here. I go, what's that? Well, it's just that. Is that kind of like an F? Yeah, it's an F. But what you're doing is just adding a G and a high G, and it's a 2, F2, or F9. It's like, what? But is it an F? Yeah. Can I play it like an F? Sure, if you want. And so for the next 26 years. No, I mean, it's just... Suddenly, I learned a new chord. The second I learned a new chord and I owned it, guess what? I started writing songs based off things you knew. And you do. And that's what happens. Suddenly you learn, there's this one, and there's these jazz chords, and you do this, and suddenly you've got this one, and you're going, what's that? Play that again. How'd you do that? Oh, and I like that. Tell me. And you go on this search for different things, and then suddenly you do it, and you don't do it well, but you start playing with it, and suddenly you own it. The second you own it, you start writing from it. You ever notice that? Both of you. Thank you, guys behind me. Yeah. Rah. So I just want to encourage you, number one, write what you like. And number two, own where you go. Oh, you practice. Get it so the chord is second nature to you. I remember one time sitting I was just really young guitar player, and I was just playing, and I went to go play a note, and I played it wrong, and it came out. And I went, whoa. Suddenly, I'm a doobie brother doing "Oh Black Water, keep on, Mississippi roads, keep on," and I'm in a whole new world, and all these songs are starting to come out because I made a mistake, but then I owned it, and I learned how to do it, and some chords, things. So the base of what I'm trying to say here is the base of musicianship will determine how high the building of music will happen. It really will. Your musicianship, it's kind of like the foundation of a building. The further down you go, the higher up you can build. That, in terms of, that is not just music. That is words. That's expression. I just want to encourage you. Most musicians that write a 3.5-minute song, I can guarantee you they spent more than 3.5 minutes writing the music. And they spent more than 3.5 minutes writing the words. Well, you only sang it in 3.5 minutes. And if you take away the instrumental, the words are only really 2 minutes and 17 seconds. That shouldn't be that hard, really. You write a great song and speak for 2.5 minutes and make it work. And have it so that thousands and millions of people want to sing your song. And so it takes you going down to build up. All right? Okay. Thoughts, adding, come.
One of the things I would say for me is I find the whole process really overwhelming when you're trying to think about lyrics and music and melody, and you're trying to write it all together. So one of the things I'll always try and do is separate those processes as much as possible. So I'll put every instrument away from sight and just get a plain notebook and just kind of write all my thoughts and my feelings out. And then I'll put that book away and I'll get my guitar and I'll try and come up with some new chords and I'll record that and be like, okay, now that's kind of a feeling. And then I'll listen to those chords just without my guitar anywhere nearby and try and sing some melodies, and then I'll see if I can bring those three together. And that seems to kind of take away some of the overwhelmingness because you've only got one thing to worry about at a time. So that's my tip number one.
And for me, I did a music degree, and music has been like reading music is like reading words, just because I did so much of it growing up. And so for me, like music is a very safe place to work from. When I want to write a new song, like Chris was saying, I write something that I enjoy. I'll write something that is inspiring me. So I'll play a chorus in a minute, but I'll just show you first the chords that it sprang from. There we go. So I was living in a house in my final year of university, and my housemate was a jazz guitarist. That means he's a serious guitarist. Makes me look like a complete faker. And he would arrange jazz tunes to even more complicated versions. So he down-tuned his D string to a C, and he came up with this chord progression for a Miles Davis tune, and it was... And I just thought, this is the most beautiful thing ever. And he would drop down to... would just melt. And we were in a band together, and I was playing trumpet, and I would like eke out the ending for as long as it would go because I loved the chord progression. So what was it? No, I think that was it. Anyway, and so one day I waited till he was out of the house, picked up his guitar, down-tuned it, and tried to copy what he was doing. And in the process, I was like, oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. But then I started writing what I liked. And then out of that, I had stuff on my heart, and at the time I think I wasn't particularly happy, but I was just overwhelmed by the sense that He was so there, and His faithfulness was so there. And so I was just writing out of stuff that I was really enjoying listening to, and I just started coming up with, all this time you stayed with me, your faithfulness is holding me, and all this time you stayed with me, your faithfulness is holding me when I can't see. That came out of me playing that chord progression and falling in love with something musically, and like basically musically finding a safe place and then letting my heart dribble out over it, basically. So that's another completely different way to bend, but for me that's a way to do it.
So I'm listening to a song. Actually, I'll take this off for a second and do it. It was an older song, and Lord, reign in me, reign in. Remember that song? Over all my needs, darkest down. So I was playing with this song, and I had my capo on. I just changed it, threw it up here. Well, I didn't really throw it up, but. And I was playing. But it's too high for me. But I was just playing the song. And my voice went down from Lord, reign in me, and then I kept going down, and I found an area where my voice fit. Start making melodies, just starts with chord progressions. Suddenly, if I just did this, some of you would just have different chord progressions going on in your head, right? And a minute later I went, my beloved is radiant, dazzling and excellent. My beloved is radiant, dazzling and excellent. My beloved is radiant, dazzling. My wife's going, I like that, honey. I'm going, me too. I got to remember this. My beloved is radiant, dazzling and excellent. My beloved is radiant, dazzling and excellent. And I go, oh, wow, I've got a song. I don't have a whole song, but I've got a chorus. And now I'm stuck because I put the capo on the 6th fret. And so now I got to figure out a song that's going to have the capo. Actually, it's on the 5th fret. So, but that's how that one just suddenly showed up. I want to play a song that I liked. I hadn't played it in 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, Lord Reign in Me was a song I'd played probably in the year 2000, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, and I hadn't played it in a while, but I was sitting home. Had moved. I'm now in Nashville, sitting there, throw the capo up, and I go, oh, and I saw the song in my notebook, and I just started playing it, but the capo was way up there. Now, if I was going to do this, but you've already heard my chord progression, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to play a different chord progression in a second. And what I want you to do, I'm not going to sing it all, but what I want you to do is just hum. Just start humming something and see if you go somewhere and see if you come up with some kind of a melody, okay? Are you all ready? And this is interactive. Okay.
anything new. But I liked what I did last time. I just can't remember. Rex is there.
Okay. Was that fun? Okay, wow. What were you playing? It's such a hard chord. G. A minor, 7th. G over B. G over B, that's a hard one. No, that's the G, but you lift the middle finger and you leave that open. But you don't lift the middle finger too high. And then it's just a C. That's all you got. Wow. But here's what happened. If you're playing around with your guitar or whatever instrument, create chord progressions. Don't sing, just create them, and then sit on it for a while. Don't immediately start to try to come up with something, because we do that in the house of prayer. We say, just go out and sing out, and you'll start it out. But that's different. Creating a prophetic song for a moment is very different than having something come into you and then back up out of you that's going to have some credence and weight. Every now and then, the little spontaneous song will have that weight, but just wait a little bit longer. Wait a little bit longer for it. All right? How many of you play guitar and can play the chords I just played? Raise your hand. A number of you. Okay. How many play piano and can do that? Okay. How many play another kind of an instrument that can create some kind of chord progression, whatever that may be? Ukulele, djembe. Awesome. I mean, there's a lot of chord progressions with the djembe. Wasn't that a TV show at night when they showed the house and it was going, "Good night, djembe"? Is that the Waltons? No, never mind. John Boy, sorry. Good night, djembe. Delayed laughter. I like that one. Djembe the elephant. Okay, and I'm going to do this again with another chord progression, because I want you to feel how you create the melody line. All right. Matter of fact, one of you guys want to do some chord progression that's different? That's maybe the one that you were doing. That was very nice. I like that. How many would like to sing to the thing that he did? Yeah. Why don't you do that? Harder to find a melody with that? Harder. Can I tell you why it was harder? Sure. Would you tell me? In his mind, he's playing a song. And he knows how the song goes. I played 4 chords in a row real fast and just played them over and over and over again. I created a repetition. He was playing a song. What he was playing was beautiful, but it didn't, what's the word?
It changed.
It changed. And because of, I was going to use the word translate. It didn't translate into being able to find the same pattern over and over again. When you don't find the same pattern, when you think, oh, he's going to go here, and suddenly he goes over here, you stop, the melody line in your mind stops instantly, didn't it? I go, where did it go? Get it back. And so what I'm going to ask him is I'm going to ask him to play it again, but change something that you're doing so you're creating a line of repetition.
Continuous loop.
Yeah, just create a loop, and then you don't have to grade the whole song at once. Often songs, they just need some kind of a tag to get you going, to get the words out, to match the passion of the music, okay, with the thought process and the thing within your own heart. So again, I'm going to have him do that and put it more on a loop kind of a thing, so there's repetition, not sing, and just let melodies come from your heart. And as soon as you get going, begin to hum and let the melodies come after, okay? actually very cool about that is that 9 times out of 10 when I do this, it's usually a female that will stand up and come up and sing. And to get a guy to actually get up, sometimes it takes, I literally have to go over and push their chair so they fall on the ground. And then I help them up and pull them to the front. But to have two men, this is awesome. Thank you, guys. But we didn't get a whole song, did we? But we get part of a song. And right now, let me ask you a question. What are you hearing in your mind? What words are you hearing? Is anybody else hearing "You Changed Me"? Changed me, da-da-da. That's just it's a repetitious, very light and beautiful, airy kind of a melody line. Da-da-da-da-da. Lord, you changed me. And then if you can look back on it later. I don't know what chords you're playing. Whatever he's doing. And then he changed me, rearranged me, made me, gave me, whatever. But suddenly you look at the song, you hear it, and you capture it, and then you come back to it and you go, oh, I can change it and I can tweak it here and we can add this and that. And suddenly you go, wow, this is really cool. So I want to encourage you to have, nowadays, we've got all these little phones, and there's so many things that they do. Just find something that works for you so that you can record what you do. Have something nearby, because I can guarantee you, there's a song, one of the songs that I love that I wrote, and I wrote it in a car at the beginning of a 40-minute drive with nothing to record it. So you know what I sang for 40 minutes? The stupid little melody line over again. No one, nothing, no one compares with you. That's all I got. But I like it. No one, nowhere, nothing compares with you. No one. I sang that all the way home. I really loved it for the first 5 minutes. But I knew that it was good, so I knew the other 35 it was going to be okay, because when it got done with some kind of instrument behind it and then a chorus attached to it, it was going to be okay. So you just have to make do with what you do. So have something handy. I'm going to ask Rex to come up and share a song that he wrote called "What If Jesus ... And I just want him to tell you the progression of how the song was written. Do you want Capo where? That's exactly why I did.
This is pretty high, isn't it?
It is for me. Sorry about that. There you go.
It's nice and high, isn't it? I'm all right to let go of this, yeah? It's just mine. I need to get one of those strap locks. Just before I sing this song, there's something which was mentioned before that Chris touched on, these different types of songs that we write, and something I'm noticing very much. We all have different characters, okay, but there's a certain box that we can fit into, but we can't be boxed. But we have different characters, so you get some people which are quite soppy, you get some people which are very macho, warrior type, and all these different things. And that's not to put you in boxes, but something I've noticed with a lot of songs recently is they all seem so distant. Renowned, big, awesome, warrior, very, very big God, which is just fantastic, and we need that. But there doesn't seem to be a great deal of the intimate heart dance with me songs out there, which is one of the reasons why, in fact, that I connected with Chris in the first place was his song Dance With Me. There's not enough of those songs, and what I think actually stood here right now is this is the sort of place where those songs will be written, isn't it? With these hearts that are just, I'm just completely undone by the Father's love. So that's what I'm going to write about. And if I was to see some sort of psychiatrist, they would be telling me that I was very much a warrior macho, that's, achieve. When it comes to me talking about my daddy, I'm as soppy as it gets. And so that's where I write from. And I'm trying to learn now, write from these other aspects as well, which is why it's great to go to Scripture, because I don't have those words.